Alrighty, I wanted to do a video on what's known as seal clubbing. Now, first off to say, what is it? You know, how would you define it? Everyone goes on about it. They're like, yeah, you're a dirty seal clubber, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's some games behind. As a talk, by the way, this is a tier 5 game in a tier 4 tank. My teammate and I are apparently seal clubbing. You know, you'd probably define it as some guy who buys a DW2, does it up, puts all the spares and equipment on it, loads it up with APCR. It's a bloody strong tank. Drives it around in tier 4, killing players who aren't as good. I mean, maybe that's seal clubbing, maybe that's also called stat padding. Who flaming knows? Anyway, wargaming are sort of messing around with matchmaking at the minute. They're messing around with tech trees. They're doing this and that, you know, to cut it out, to help the noobs play the game. Now, the idea is they need to push the button more. They need to stay in the game. They need to get the basics of the game and press the button more before they're allowed tier 6. Well, okay, so this BDR, he's a tier 5 tank. He's sat on a hill. I'm capping him in the side. So what's he learning from this? He's probably pressing the button. If he's got a brain, what's he learning? He's learning, don't put your big ass French tank on a hill because I'm going to get shot. So, hey, guess what? I've taught him a lesson. You know, what's going to happen with this BDR if you take tier 4 out of the game, you take tier 3 out of the game, you stop seal clubbing, whatever. He's going to get to tier 6. And you know what? When he gets to tier 6, I'm going to be sat there in an ARL 44, or God forbid a KV2, and he's going to drive up onto that hill, and I'm going to just take the top off him. I mean, that's quite simple, isn't it? So there's all this crap at the moment about seal clubbing at tier 4 and, you know, lower tiers. Now, you know, Blitz is the only game that I know where you get penalised for having learnt the game and you get better at it than other people. Doesn't matter what tier you're at, the principles are still the same. If you can't play the game, if you don't want to get educated, if you don't want to watch Meadsy or Bushka or Skate or whatever, and you drive any tank at any tier, you're going to get your arse handed to you. The trouble is, when you get to higher tiers, what you're going to get is a Death Star, a KB2, a Borsig, a Waffle, an IS-7, or whatever, and you would have gone up from tiers 1 to 5. You haven't been clubbed, alright, I grant you. But what have you actually learned from the experience? What education have you received? I mean, the answer is none. When I started playing Blitz, and I'm going to sound like an old git, played 39,000 games, whatever. I mean, had to learn. I used to drive T-32s out sideways and get wrecked. I had Unicoms abusing me. You know, I had one guy, he said, why'd you drive your T-32 out sideways? I said, well, I don't know. I said, teach me. He just told me to go see my mother in no uncertain terms. He said there was no helping me. Well, fine. But there is now actual help in the game, and it's via education. It's not via fixing matchmaker at tier 4, and it's not via my shells not going into this Hetzer because you need to press the button more. You know, that's not how it works. So, you know, that's point 1, and that's part 1. And by the way, did you think that game was easy? My mate and I were bottom tier. Alright, we carried it, but you know, look at the team. Now, look at that result. You could say, on one hand, yeah, we were better than the enemy, we carried the team, the poor noobs on the right-hand side, those poor reds, we clubbed them. Alright, fine. Look at the left-hand side of the screen on that battle result. Those 5 guys, whatever, got a free carry. They probably watched us play. They might have learned something, who knows. Second game, whilst I continue my rant, Look at what me and Commander Smith are doing here. We're trying to help the team. Now, the mission of the WoW clan is to help people. You know, when we play with the greens, with the good guys, we try and tell them which way to go. We've played games before where we believe it or not, you know, we get called seal clubbers and cheats. We get knocked out early. We actually stay on chat and we say to people, angle up. Go behind him. You know, some guy's trying to kill Matilda in a BT7. We're like, get behind him. Get behind him. You know, we're not sat there going, oh, you know, blah blah blah. So, you know, again, it's education. That's all it is. Final point. I like playing tanks. Okay, I like playing. I've got an IS-7. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not very good in it. I find Tier X quite dull, to be honest. It's a bit slow for me. That's just me. You know, I prefer to play Tier 6 and 7. I love Tier 5. I've got 2,000 games in the Tier 1 Heavy. I like Tier 3. I like T46. I like Tier 4. You got all these sort of different tanks in all different tiers. You know, in Blitz there's some kind of snobbery that if you ain't playing Tier X, you ain't any good. That's not true. You know, that's total rubbish. You grind one tree all the way up to Tier X, usually the Leo tree, by the way, and then spend your time annoying people at Tier X because you're not very good and you haven't learnt the basics of the game. You're not going to learn the game by thinking you're amazing till you get to Tier 6 because no one's clubbed you. Now, maybe these guys, if they've got a brain, they're probably thinking, right, maybe I won't park there in the future because good players are going to sit like me and use hard cover and smash them. You've got game record now in Blitz. If you don't want to watch Meadsy or Skate or whatever, you can record your games. I mean, so if you had a brain, right, rather than push the button, maybe you want to watch your replay back. Maybe you want to watch this game. Maybe you want to think, well, what could I have done better? What did those dirty seal clubbers do? Oh yeah, right, okay, yeah, so they sat there and look at the guy in the looks. He moved around a lot, didn't he? Yeah, he repositioned. Look at the guy in the DW2. He's not doing anything special. You know, I used to finish games at Tier 4 when I was learning this and go, how did that guy get 1,000 alpha? When I first started playing Blitz, you couldn't watch a replay. You could do nothing. Okay, so look at it another way. Say this game is full of bots. Say this game doesn't have Unicom players in it or guys who know what they're doing. Say this game is just like a playground for noobs. I mean, how are you going to get better watching bots? You're just not. It's like if you do a sport. I play tennis, for example. I ain't going to get better if I don't play people who are better than me. I can beat people who are worse and think I'm the dog's back wheels, but what have I actually learned from the experience? So, to complete the rant about, you know, the whole killing of Tier 4, in my opinion, all Wargaming are actually doing is they're moving the problem to Tier 6. Now, again back to seal clubbing, if I want to club people, do you know what? I'm going to go drive a Cromwell B, or something like that, at Tier 6 if that's the new Tier 4. Now, what was the point in the whole exercise, is my question. So, in summary, I'm a little bit fed up with this crap about seal clubbing. I play Pug B for God's sake. I play that well. I play lots of games. I'm a gamer, okay? I don't see it in any other game. I don't see that you're a lesser person, a lesser tanker, a lesser this, a lesser that. If you're playing Tier 4, Viz playing Tier 10. I don't get it. You wouldn't see it in any other game. It's some sort of weird Blitz snobbery. And, you know, furthermore, the abuse that you get, you know, just for playing well. It's the only game I know whereby you do this and afterwards someone contacts you, tells you what to do with your mother and calls you a dirty seal clubber. I mean, fine. Got more games at Tier 7 than Tier 4. Whatever. I mean, who cares? Anyway, that's seal clubbing. It's a bit of a rant, but, you know, I hope I've provoked some thought and a re-evaluation of behaviour and thinking in this game, because it's, to me, plain weird. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Bye.